Okay, let's turn the page here, talk about weather impacts, because we got a bit to talk about. And I mean, first of all, Brittany, what a day. Oh, what a weather day.
Yeah, not a great day. We talked a lot this week about how, Vanessa, yesterday was really going to be kind of the shining light there, with the sunshine, and yes, cooler, but at least the sunshine. Today was gross. We had a cold air damming set up, the wedge. We talk about it a lot in the Carolinas, and that's why temperatures were only in the 40s. We saw widespread cloud cover and, of course, the off and on rain. Now, the low and rain chances will continue overnight into early Sunday morning, but as we're tracking a cold front coming in from the north and west, mainly between 6 to 10 o'clock in the morning, that's for most of the Charlotte metro. We're looking at not just heavy rain, but gusty winds and frequent lightning. If you look at the bottom of your screen here, we're under a WCNC Charlotte weather alert, but it's really not necessarily for the storms tomorrow as much as the wind that's also going to stick around once the storms are over. So first, let's talk about the rain and the storm impact. So today we were only in the 40s, but as we track this cold front, winds are turning more out of the south and west. This is actually why we'll warm up over the next few hours. The high today was in the low 40s, but by midnight, we're in the mid 40s. Look what happens as we go into tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, storms are moving into the mountains. It's 61 degrees in Charlotte. That warm, moist air allows for plenty of instability to see these storms develop later on in the morning. So here's 6 o'clock. We're moving into the mountains. Notice by 7 and 8, the storms are right over the Charlotte area. So if you live within the Queen City or right near the metro, your time frame dwindles down from 6 to 10 down to about 7 to 9, with 8 o'clock being the bullseye here. Now, it's quick moving storm activity, which means it's pretty much out of here by 10. But once the storms wrap up, doesn't necessarily mean that the wind isn't going to wrap up. We have a really strong, what's called a low-level jet. These are winds close to the surface, and those are going to be substantially high all day long. When winds are close to the surface, really strong, that means that when storms develop, that's a higher risk of downbursts, but also higher risk of seeing these continuous non-thunderstorm wind gusts even after the storms are over. So again, first strong storm potential, 6 to 10 o'clock, a little bit smaller for the Charlotte metro, about 7 to 9, heavy rain, gusty winds. We want folks to stay weather aware because these winds could certainly allow for an isolated power outage. But again, it's really the winds on the back end of this front that will add for the prolonged risk of power outages, trees coming down. Look at 6 a.m. Here's when the storms are starting to move through the mountains. And notice by the latter half of the morning, there you go. There's the cold front. Winds are starting to move east of us over toward Raleigh-Durham. However, they're not done yet. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. At this point, we're completely dry, but wind gusts are still 35, if not 45 miles per hour. Folks, to give you some perspective there, that's about the strength of a tropical storm, if not a little bit higher. 45 to 50 miles per hour can certainly do damage, and we're going to see that all day throughout Sunday. Once it starts to lighten a little bit in the afternoon in the Charlotte area, the mountains actually see the 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts last all throughout the afternoon. So I know there's a lot to talk about, but again, storms potentially Sunday morning and then wind gusts all day long. Biggest impacts there, gusty winds within the storms, and on the back end, those gusty winds will allow for those isolated power outages. Now, as we look ahead to Wednesday, more changes coming. The chance for at least some kind of winter weather continuously going up. Now, winter weather doesn't necessarily mean just snow. Right now, it's trending toward a wintry mix, but after tomorrow, which is the day we really want you to focus on, we'll continue to fine-tune this forecast and give you a little bit more info on Wednesday. So again, tomorrow, morning storms, windy conditions all day long, sunshine abundant but much colder on President's Day. Tuesday, probably one of the picks of the week before that chance for rain, storms, and even a little bit of sleet mixing in arrives on Wednesday into early Thursday.
Brittany, thank you so much. Hey, folks at home, don't forget you can download that WCNC Charlotte News app so you can stay aware of those impacts from this system and any other weather events coming down the pike as we go on.